What is going on, guys? This is Dr. Vic, and this is a special milestone episode that I want to share with you guys. And I'm just excited to be here. Can't believe we're here already. It's unreal. We are hitting our 400th episode today. That is what you're tuning into today, and I'm just excited to share that with you. If you asked me over 4 years ago, would I be hitting 400 episodes? I would have thought it would probably be a lot longer. And it's been amazing how quick it's happened. I'm very been appreciative to you guys, those who've subscribed, who've been following us, who listen to us, those who are new listening to us. I appreciate you. I really do. It's been a joy to share the content, the people I've met through interviews, from meeting you, from reaching out, sharing, and so much more. There's so much that's going on that we're just excited uh, to hit this mark. It's something in the podcast world that doesn't happen often. I think I forgot what the percentages are, but to go past 10 episodes for a podcast is considered not rare, but it's very low of those who go past that. And for us to be at 400, it's just a milestone that we're very excited to share. So I just want to take a quick moment and just thank you for um, listening now, been listening, wherever you are in the journey of joining us in this community. We greatly appreciate you. We have some cool things coming up. You're going to notice in the show notes, you're going to see some different links. We came up with a new website. We just got it done and it's officially been published, where you can connect with the podcast specifically, where to connect, where to share a review, how to connect with us, any requests that you may want to have, and so much more. We kind of separated it away from my other website. We just wanted to give it its own entity. Another thing is we have our own Instagram. That's right. I think it's the Mindful Experiment podcast. So check it out there. It's in the show notes. Like, follow. That's what we'll be sharing all our episodes on there, and really marketing it through there on that platform. So definitely take a peek over there and take a look and follow. We just got it up and running, so we don't have much followers yet. So love to have your support there, and it'll get up to date with all the new stuff that we'll be showcasing and so much more. So this episode, this is something I've been talking about a lot. I've been averaging in the last 3 months about 20 podcasts that I've been a guest on, and it's one of those things where this has come up so much, and the answer is still the same. I get different questions, but my response is still the same. This happens with my coaching clients. I have this happen with people ask me these questions on how to achieve success, or how to have the best relationship, or how to have the best health, or how to have the best mindset, or how to have the best anything or everything. The choice is yours. And it really comes back to this principle that's a different mindset, a different thinking, a different process than what we've been conditioned. And I say conditioned because it's been beaten in our brains for who knows how long, at least in the business world, when it comes to hard work, it's been the last 120 years. And humans we're not designed, as souls, we didn't come here to be human doers. That's just not what we came here to do. And a lot of the advice, this is what made me want to go into business coaching, was because they kept telling us to do. Personal development, self help. When you listen to business and entrepreneur advice, even motivational speakers are telling you how you have to do. And it's such backwards thinking in so many ways. And this is why 60+% of leaders are burned out. That's why we see so much exhaustion in the work field. I think it was like 44% of employees are burned out in some way, shape, or form. It could be high. I think the number should be actually probably is a lot higher. But we are burned out, we're exhausted, we're fatigued, and life is just stressful. You would think with all the amazing technology we have, life should be easier, but it's not. And so when you look at this, it's well, what are we doing? How can we simplify things? How can we make things easier? Well, you have to remember one thing: the human mind complicates everything. Remember that. The human mind complicates everything. So when you think of, life is very simple. To understand life is really simple. But then we get in all these nicks and crannies, let the mind take over, and it makes it very complex. Look at healthcare in itself. That's what I love about being a chiropractor. Why? Because the path to health for an individual from a holistic standpoint is simple. It really is. But go to a medical doctor and try to achieve health and watch the complexity. What tests, what the path, what medications you're going to have to go on, this thing you're going to have to do, that you're going to have to do, this is going to be this, that's going to be that, this is going to be this, right? And there's so much, and this is why healthcare is declining drastically, especially in the states. I mean, I think I don't know about internationally, but I know for the states it is. And it's one of those things where you look at that there has to be a different model, a different way. Same thing with business and business advice, or just achieving your dream life, right? To have so many people are so many people are struggling in some way, shape, or form. So many people are stressed out or exhausted. They just want to take a break from life in general. They can't take enough vacations from their life that they're going to have to go back to, and I'm not against vacations. It's just understanding the principles of really, how do you make your life a vacation in itself? And there's ways to do that. And I'll be sharing all that in this episode. So when you look at different aspects, it's really then understanding this Newtonian world, right? Newtonian physics is all about force, energy. Me do this to get that results. I chase my dreams, right? I was sharing on Facebook a couple days ago about asking the question, what's the worst advice you ever had? I said, mine's in the comments. And that was, get out and go chase your dreams. Now, for some, you may have a knee jerk reaction to that. But for some who are more aware of this, you'll know where I'm going with that. And today I'll be sharing that concept. So there's this world that we've been told to do, right? All the time. We have to control. We make our life more complex. And we do this. We're conditioned this way. This is the matrix of life that is being impeded upon us. So that's one world. But there's a whole different world that we can get into that's a little different, which is quantum, which now we become the magnet of life and utilize the power of that, because quantum field, the quantum world, quantum physics has shown that it has given us an understanding of more in depth of the physical world. And everything comes from quantum to the physical, and how the physical world reacts and creates and so forth. And so when we understand, start to understand a little bit of how this quantum world works, we can really transform our lives and make it a lot easier. This is why I share a lot about like the law of least effort, least amount of work to get the greatest game possible. I talk about how you don't have to go after anything, how you don't have to do much of anything. There's a law of inspired action, and you'll be inspired to take action when the time's right. You'll be inspired to take action when you need to. And what we start to do is we pull away from controlling our lives and thinking every single step of what we need to do and everything. And instead we let life guide us. We let the universe guide us. We leverage that to utilize that to really guide us in our life. And so quantum is all about the law of vibration and the essence that you only can experience wherever you're vibrating at. So I shared this before about when you look at when it comes to looking at the aspect of um, your life and achieving, let's say, $1 million. But let's say you got the vibration to be at $1 million. The $1 million may not be in the bank, but what will happen is you're going to have the ideas to create that. You're going to have people in situations and circumstances are going to show up to create, to allow that to happen for you. You didn't have to do anything. No, you didn't have to go reach out to meet 1,000 people before you can find that one. No, you didn't have to go and think of 1,000 ideas and try them all out so that one works. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but to be inspired by the law, law of inspired action. When you're in that vibrational state, these things will come to you because it's inevitable. It's law. Law of attraction is law. It will come, right? You have the law of vibration, then there's the law of attraction. And that law of attraction it always works, whether you believe it or you don't, whether if you think it does or it doesn't, it works. And so it will attract to you the ideas, the circumstances, the situations, and the people to become that millionaire. If you want to have the best relationship of your life, same thing. You have to get in that vibration of that aspect. Once you're in that vibration, it may be that partner that will show up. I'm not saying it always has to be, because again, quantum means infinite potential. There's infinite possibilities in the field. There's every single possibility that can happen is there. And so that's why if I try to share a couple, doesn't mean that's going to be it. There's gazillions more of those. And so when you start to understand that, um, it will be one of those things to where it will be that game changer for you to not have to try to figure everything out. Let it come to you. Maybe an idea to help improve your relationship. Maybe it might be a situation which you may think may be bad in the moment, but it's one thing that you needed to strengthen it, to fill in the holes, or to strengthen the communication between two people. These things will come in that way. It's like saying, God, give me strength. God's not going to ask God to give strength. He's not going to give it to you. What it's going to do is it's going to give you circumstances and situations to work on your strength, to build it. And that's the concept of these kind of things. And so when you're looking at your life, okay, law of vibration, you have to be in the right vibrational state. You want your vibration to be as high as possible. What is vibration? Well, vibration is your thoughts, your emotions, and where you focus on, what things you're focusing on. I tie all three of those together. So it's a thought that an emotion. Let's go to emotion. It's an emotion that's a high vibration, which is joy, bliss, freedom, love, excitement. Those kind of things. Where the other side is a low vibration is going to be things of anger, frustration, shame, guilt, all those different aspects. And what ends up happening is that you get to choose every day which one you're focusing on. You have that choice. And the problem is people don't take that choice. What they end up doing is one of two things. Um, I'd probably say more one than two, but we'll go with both. So the first one is when you wake up every day, you are living your life in your past. You're waking up feeling a certain way, and that feeling is from the past. Your body is part of the subconscious mind. You actually have cellular memory, and so cellular memory remembers all things that we've gone through. And it's one of these things where when you're in that state holding on to that memory, every day in the present is actually an experience from the past, and that's why we get stuck in this routine, this hedonic wheel as it's called, or the hamster wheel. And we're constantly thinking we're doing something new, but we're not. And the reason why, because our vibe isn't where it should be, where we want it to be, is what I should say. And so what we're choosing is just allowing to be whatever our own past, instead of believing into the future what today is going to bring. Right. What I mean by that is you're seeing yourself into the future and having the feelings of that future, of how you're excited. It gets you pumped. You feel the freedom. You get all these different emotions that come up, and they're all high vibrations. It raises you up. You feel high and energized. And what ends up happening is you pull it into the present and say, today's going to be an amazing day. Today's going to be a great day. Every day, I always say, today's going to be a great day. I don't care what shows up. I'm not looking for the thing that's going to harm my good or bad day, my good day, I should say, or a great day. No, every day is an amazing day. It's always an amazing day. There's never a day less than that. And the reason why is because if I allow just that one smidgen to think it may not be that, then all of a sudden there's a higher chance of me experiencing that. And so if I stay in the vibe of feeling amazing and great, and I do my future projections where I see into the future, the vibe of who I want to become, and pull those emotions high and get really excited, and then pull that into the present and feel that into my body and so forth, this becomes a game changer then, because now I'm making it more present. I'm making it more alive. And what I'm trying to do is your brain doesn't know the difference between what you create in your mind and what you see in your physical reality. It doesn't know the difference. So then why not use imagination to your advantage? Why not see yourself in the future and believe, know 100%, have the faith within, the inner knowing to know that you are going to get there no matter what? It's as easy as just changing the channel or finding your favorite movie on Netflix. You don't have to figure it out. You don't need to know the house. You just choose, and that's it. And the more you can stay in that vibe, the more your vibration rises, when then all of a sudden the opportunities will come to you. All of a sudden the ideas show up. I'm living proof of it. And I have many entrepreneurs I worked with that we do the exact same thing. Something great comes out of nowhere. They wanted to make more money. 6, 7 months down the road, 8 months down the road, something happens. Maybe it was through them. Maybe it was because of them. They feel like they did it, or maybe someone else. Something happened, and someone's helping in the process out of the blue. Right? There's endless opportunities. Remember the quantum field is infinite possibilities. Once you understand this, then you're going to not want to think anymore. Because when you think, that's a law of focus. You put the focus on something, that's the projection of what it's going to be. If you feel that you need to do this, or you feel that you need to do that, or you feel this or that, then it's going to be that, because you're putting energy and you're putting focus towards that. Which energy in the mind go towards, which when energy flows, manifestation grows. That creates your reality. That's why I said the matrix, or your vibrational frequency, is your thoughts, your emotions, and where you put your focus to. And a lot of times thoughts and emotions are going to lead to where you put your focus. Majority of the time that is, but I'd like to throw that in there. So it's when you really look at that kind of concept, then you are literally have the opportunity to create your life with ease, effortless success. I'm actually doing a workshop on that coming up on September 14th. I got the link in the show notes. I highly recommend it. I'm going to talk about the quantum field and how to create effortless success. It's going to be all about this, but way more in depth. And I'm going to put a system together for you so that you guys can feel empowered walking away to help elevate your life in every aspect possible. So I know this is going to be, this is something totally different because we're so always looking at what's the next thing we have to do or what are the things we have to be in this. And in the Western world and Western civilization, we don't know how to just be. We don't know how to just be calm and know that things will just work out how they're supposed to. You already have living proof of it. Just go look at your life. Everything in your life always has worked out the way it needed to. It may not have been what you wanted, but it always worked out the way it was supposed to. That's how life has is designed to be. But we as individuals, when you think you need control, you don't trust God, the universe, Allah, Jesus, whoever you believe, whatever you worship to, whatever you pray to, whatever you meditate to, whatever that is, whoever you channel to, but really at the end of the day, it's not having faith with yourself. It's not believing in yourself. So when you feel like you have to control things, you don't really believe and understand the power of who you really are. You really don't understand that beautiful essence, that the magnificent power. I mean, we can't even measure. No one can ever tell you your limits, and no we can't even have tools to measure how powerful we really are. That is called what I like to call the human X factor. And so when you think of these concepts and look at these principles, this is a game changer for you to elevate your life. It's a whole different world. You don't have to think, you don't have to worry, you don't have to do anything. You know it's going to come. The only thing you need to put your energy into is your vibe. But I will tell you this, you have a default programming. And I see this happen a lot to people where they may listen to a podcast I've been on as a guest or listening to my podcast, and they'll hear something and go, man, Doc, man, what you shared there, that's what I needed to hear. Man, I wanted to do some coaching with you, but I just feel like what you shared is what my issue is that I need to solve right now. So thanks. I might have lost a client. I've had this numerous times say to me, you may have lost a client by sharing that, but this and that. And I look at them and I shake my head like, obviously they look at things as a destination, not as a journey. They don't understand something called the default brain. And what that means is you have a default how you're going to always go back to. It's your comfort zone. It's what holds you in a trap. And so if you think you heard something that solved it, and just because you heard it, it's going to create that massive change. I think it's like 90, what is it, 98%, 99%, something like that. It's not going to happen because you don't understand the blind spots that are going to pull you back into that default aspect. And so what happens, you feel like it was a huge transformational process. And then all of a sudden, it could be a week, a day, a month, 2 months. Usually research shows around 2 months max. You're right back where you were. 3 months at total, if anything. And it was like that was there, and now you're looking for the next thing. And then what happens? You're looking for the next thing. And what happens? You're looking for the next thing. And you're constantly caught in this trap of thinking that it's this I have to figure out. It's all these layers I have to go through. And really, there is no layers because when you really get to the root cause of things, it all clears. And that's why when I work with a lot of people or get questioned a lot about how to achieve more money or how to have a better relationship or how to do this or how to do that or whatever it may be, my answer is always the same. Focus on your vibe, right? But there's so many people that tell you these things, right? But there's actually a science to how you can do it. And there's ways, and I share many different ways on how you can really focus on this to create this in your life. And when you start to do this, this is a game changer for most people because now you don't have to go and try to figure out what the next step is. You don't have to figure out the next idea. You don't have to figure out this. You don't have to try to figure out how you're going to help, raise your business or make more money or have a better relationship or with the strengthen your family. These things will come to you. And what I teach a lot of people is how to tap into your body to know when you're in alignment of that vision of what you want to create. And when you're in that alignment of that vision, all of a sudden there's a feeling and a response that happens. And when you get used to this response, then all of a sudden now you have a total system that can help guide you to where you need to go and how you need to go into what you choose to experience. It's a total different world. It's not now. Some people in the Tony world look at this and they like the what we don't when we do, his humans' minds work is when we don't understand something, we bash it, we humiliate it, we give discredential it. Right? I can't tell you how many times people say, "Please show me the science about the law of attraction," or "Please show me the science that the law of vibration is what it is." Or some people just say that's a bunch of BS, and I'd be like, do you want to learn more about it? Do you want to have a more of an open mind? There's just because it's like when I was growing up, I was raised in a very Italian family culture, and so I just thought people were certain, like the way the Italians are. I really thought that was kind of like how life was for a second, because that's what my upbringing was. And as I started to think that it's only Italians that have these issues, not everyone else. As I started to expand my horizon, as I went out, moved away, and went to college, I started to see that there is vast differences in us in many different ways, but there's a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences too. And it had me open my mind to see people in different realms and so many different things. And we can have and experience so much more of the beauty of life if we keep more of an open mind to things. Not saying you have to agree, not saying you have to commit to that, not saying you have to see it as truth. Just be open minded and listen to it and say that this is real for them. That's real for this person. It may not be real for me, but it's cool to see a different shade of tone or of color of humanity that I'm learning about. And so it's a whole different world. And quantum is doing things. I'm not going to say it's better because you can force your way to get to success. A lot of billionaires give advice on that. And I mean, they're billionaires. They must have did something right, right? But at the same token, there are other ways you can do it too without the force and without the stress. And it's more aligned to who we are really as souls and how the soul world works and the spiritual world works. And that's why I love so much about these concepts because we don't this is how we operate, and we forgot that as we came to this experience called human being. And we lose a little bit of that what the past is. There's an internal aspect that can remind us that we know, and we get pulled towards. But a lot of times, that we don't remember who we are and what we're about and all those kind of things and the existence of who we are. So it's really that a little bit of amnesia makes us forget how our other world is. And unfortunately, this happens to humans. I know it doesn't happen to dogs. Dogs are in between both worlds, so they know, children are in between both worlds. This may sound kind of crazy for some people, but if you ever have a 3-year-old around or 4-year-old around, show them a picture. Show them a picture of someone who's been passed away, and see if they talk to them or they'll recognize them. It's kind of fascinating how that works. I knew about this for many years, and I remember when my nephew, he's 10 now, but when he was around 3 years old, we would catch him talking to somebody, and there was nobody there, at least not physically that we can see. And but I felt the energy because I feel the energy. I don't see things, and male energy came, and I felt like it was my grandfather. And so all of a sudden, I said, "Ma," I looked for a picture, and I got one, and I showed it to him, and I said, "Is this who you're talking to?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's Papa." You have to understand, my grandfather passed away in 2011. My nephew was born in 2012. So there's no way they can have seen each other in the physical world. Okay. And that's what he was saying. He would talk to him, and it happened for a little bit, and then it kind of weaned off after like a year or two. So it's one of those things where, tapping in and understanding that these principles are not just physical or not just in the human element. This is spiritual true. And this relates to then also hermetic principles that says what is above is also below, right? And so the inner worlds, these two existences, there's a lot of crossover. So this is what I'm trying to share with you guys to empower you to tap more into the quantum. That's more an alignment to how we live and how we create. We don't chase, things come to us. We don't have to chase anything. You don't have to go after anything. You don't have to think of anything. Things will come to you. The thoughts, the ideas, circumstances, situations will all come to you. Since I've done this in 2017, I really started to master this. I did some experimenting in 2014 into 15. 15, I saw it. 16, I really saw the fruits of this kind of work. And I said, let me see if I can reproduce this. And of course, I did some things on my business to redirect to be more in alignment with me and see if I can create something that would be magical in my office and to lead my community from a pediatric standpoint and so forth. And we did that. And I didn't do anything new. So it's one of these things that it's just learning the vibration and learning how to tap into it. Raise your vibe. It's not hard to do. Stay there as much as you possibly can. So practice 5 times a day, just raising your vibe. Get into that good vibe state. Put it on your phone, put a calendar link on it, and just do that. And it'll be a game changer for you as you go on and carry on. So I want to thank you again for tuning in. I want to thank you for joining me on the 400th episode of the Mindful Experiment. And we look so forward to continuing to uh, leveling up and continuing our journey for the next 100 and to see where that goes to and so much more and who we have as interviews and the sharing things we share and all the experiences. So I want to thank you. Please check out our new website. Take a look. Please follow us on Instagram, and also please subscribe to the podcast. We do launch about 2 episodes right now per week. And so it's usually going to be on Wednesdays and Fridays. Sometimes it just based on schedule, it shows up on a Tuesday and so forth. So I just want to share with you that subscribe, follow, and if you really enjoy the podcast, please share a review. It really gets our message out there to help others to also be tracked into this. So thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.